Periyava Sharanam, Glimpses from Sri MahaPeriyava's Life History, Volume 9, Chapter 18, Continued. Perumanallur Shivan. Many people of India believe that there is no gift superior to Annadanam. The tradition of gifting food to the hungry has been followed since the Vedic times in India. Annadata Sukhi Bhava, may the provider of food be happy, said the ancients. Perumal Shivan, popularly known as Annadanam Shivan, Annadanam refers to gift of food, as he provided food to millions of poor people for over 50 years in his lifetime. Shivan was very close to MahaPeriyava. His devotion to MahaPeriyava was extraordinary. It was puzzling to many people on how Shivan, as a single individual, and that too a poor Brahmin with very little resources, managed to carry on his Annadanam activities in a large scale for so long. There is an interesting story behind his remarkable achievement. Here goes the story about Shivan. Shivan was born as Ramaswamy in a small village called Perumanallur near Kumbakonam to a poor Brahmin couple in the year 1852. He did not have an opportunity to study in a school. During his childhood, he witnessed Annadanam being provided at many festivals by a landlord named Kayattur Srinivasa Iyer in Tanjavur district. For some time, Shivan worked for Srinivasa Iyer. During this time, the young boy felt that gifting food to hungry people is the fundamental duty of any person. Shivan lost his parents at a young age and also his wife later. Thereafter, he sold his small home and land in the village and utilized the sale proceeds to offer Annadanam to poor people at a local festival in the Sri Lakshmi Narasimha temple. He made his living by working as a cook but was never happy in this profession. He quit his job and decided to continue his Annadanam activity to poor people. Later, he undertook the tremendous task of offering Annadanam to many thousands of people at the 1897 Mahamaham festival in Kumbakonam. Though he had no money, wealthy landlords and traders who were impressed with his conviction and great enthusiasm helped him to perform this task. Without taking any money for himself, Shivan succeeded in his first massive Annadanam task. Not stopping with this, Shivan made a plan to offer Annadanam every month in at least one village or town. He carried on this noble activity for over 50 years at numerous religious festivals. Shivan met MahaPeriyava in the year 1909 when MahaPeriyava was just about 15 years old. Since his first meeting, he was a great devotee and developed a special relationship with MahaPeriyava. In 1921, when he heard that MahaPeriyava was fasting and slimming down, he took the liberty of writing to MahaPeriyava, advising him with many do's and don'ts as a father would write fondly to his son. For many years, Shivan also advised the mutt on matters relating to charity and collected contributions from some of the landlords. In the context of Shivan's achievements, the following description from Ra Ganapati's MahaPeriyava's Virundu may be relevant. Reminiscing about the Annadanam activities of Shivan at the Mahamaham festival, MahaPeriyava said, "It was during the 1933 Mahamaham Annadanam. The wood brought for fuel was 100 cartloads. For pickles, 10 cartloads of amla fruit, Philanthus emblica, were received. He would just smell the vapors of the dishes being cooked and say correctly what needed to be added to a dish. From the vapors of rasam, he would order the amount of coriander yet to be ground and added. Not just a handful of corianders. Grind a large pan of coriander and add to the rasam," he would shout to a cook. If a large pan of coriander was to be added more than what has been already done, imagine the quantity of rasam that would have been made. And there were 2 cartloads of broomsticks of the coconut tree that were used to clean the floor after a dining session. However, much the number of cooked rice vessels or however long the cereal wood furnaces were, they couldn't just meet the amount of rice required. So, what he would do is to first cook 10 or 20 bags of rice, spread the lots over long mats, cover the steaming cooked rice anna pavadai with a thin white cloth, and spread bags of raw uncooked rice over the cloth with the cooked rice under. Then he would cover this uncooked rice with long jute sacks and fold them tightly under the mat. In the next half hour, when the sacks were removed, all the upper layer of uncooked rice would have been cooked, soft like flowers. Such was his technique to speed up the rice making task. Where did he go for all the milk required for curd to serve multitudes of diners? Shivan had another technique for this requirement. In those days when there were no refrigerators, Shivan had invented his own. Weeks or even months before the Samaradhana food festival, Shivan used to go about the task of collecting milk and making curds. He would pack the curd in wooden barrels, seal them with wax, and drown the barrels in deep ponds. When the barrels were extracted and opened, the curd would be just like it was formed yesterday. We should say it was not just the coolness of the pond, but the cool compassion of his mind also that made the task possible. Ra Ganapati adds the following in his book. A most notable thing about the festivities was that neither the walking Shivan, meaning MahaPeriyava, nor the Annadanam Shivan ever tasted a morsel of the food served. Paramacharya usually took the flattened rice offered to Sri Chandra Maulishwara, even that when he was not on fast. Annadana Shivan would go to a friend's house and take just curd rice, which was his usual favorite dish he took even on normal days, after offering it to his Ishta Devata, personal god, Sri Dakshinamurti. Such was the greatness of Shivan to deserve rich compliments from MahaPeriyava. On May 19, 1939, Shivan passed away in his village of Tribhuvanam, the same day on which MahaPeriyava returned to the land of Cholas after his Ganga Yatra. Though Shivan did not formally take sannyashramam, there is no doubt that he lived like a sannyasi. When MahaPeriyava heard the sad news of Shivan's passing away, he ordered lighting of Moksha Deepam, a lamp in prayer of a departed soul, in the temples at Tribhuvanam and Kumbakonam. During his last days, Shivan had donated his meager savings of rupees 160 towards Purta Dharmam, a charity for digging a water tank. MahaPeriyava ordered to use that amount for repairing a water tank that was being used by the Harijans in Tiruvallur. Periyava Sharanam.